Good afternoon, traders. Today is May 31st, the last day of the month. I'm recording this for the next week starting on June 3rd, which is Monday. Before I go further and start actually talking about these, I want you guys to see my upcoming seminar for the BMT. This is the Big Mike's Trading Forum. I mean, he's doing quite a bit of great seminars. One of it is, I guess, I will be presenting this on Thursday, June 6th, Thursday at 4:30, and the topic is going to be trading pivots and volatility and scalping and patterns. And it's actually I'm going to be presenting quite a few other topics too. I guess some of the topics are listed here. These are like individual topics, and I'll be going into showing you, what type of pivots I use it and how do I use it along with the patterns, and how do you trade the counter trend and how do you avoid it, and then things like whether you're a breakout trader or whether you're a pullback trader. So these are the small topics, but I'll be talking about like these 8 9 topics on that day. So I guess if you guys can make it, that would be great. It's a free presentation starting at 4:30 on June 6th. All right, fantastic. Let's just get started with the markets. Last week, if you guys realized it, the our ABC target on the S&P was 1680, and actually the trading, the futures, of course, that's what we trade, is 1684.75, and that is 162% of AB level. And if you look at it on May 22nd, the high it reached was 1685.75. That's just about a point above its actual 1684 target. And at that time, the last week, I completely got out of the market. I have a single position left right now. That too, it's an option position. So and that is for the like August calls. So that's the only position I'm going to keep it. And this entire of last week, I have only traded the futures. And pretty much I was waiting for some kind of a move towards downside. So I guess this one, it could actually shock us and go back up too. But what I'm expecting now is that to come and test this, I'm thinking about 1590.95 level. So that way we could probably see some type of a support which we can see it, which occurred in probably the high of April, and that's what I'm thinking that maybe 1590 may be the first support level for this for the S&P futures. So now let's also look at at the same time what happened with spiders. Spiders again the same thing. That the high was of 168.67 is 162%, and then here onwards, and now it's actually coming down too. So it's exactly same thing happened here. And then also if you look at the diamonds, which is the this is the diamonds here, and here I was definitely expecting that it would stop at this 150.81. It didn't, and it overshot this one. Of course, and I'm not traded that diamonds, but Q's also the same way. Q's, I think it did stop at 127%, which is a 20% of AB, which is 74.70, and now it's coming down to 73 dollars price range. So this is what is going on at this point. And as I said, I only have one position in the market right now because I was expecting this. Today was a pretty intense. It almost fell 200 points. Although this week there was at least 2 days, I believe, markets were rallied up, and I thought that maybe I was wrong that I don't have any positions in the market. But I was trading the S&P futures, E-mini futures, and so I was happy with that. But I guess I didn't take any longer positions with options or stocks. Let's also look at gold. What's happening? Gold is it's absolutely crazy. Basically, this is in the last 4 5 days has been incredible volatile in the gold market, and especially from the GLD. That's what I was looking at it. GLD does have a double bottom type of thing, a bottom type of pattern, and I was thinking that it would probably head out, and I thought that it would actually get to this 146 kind of a price range once it triggers this 135. But today it actually fell even further, much like $2.50, and now it's trading back into within its yield to stop range. So I guess if it does trade below the C, I guess anybody has a position, they need to get out, but I don't have any positions in gold either. So now let's look at some of the things what's going on with stocks. Let's look at Apple. I think we have a stock here, which I'm going to be showing you here. There is a smaller ABC here. I'm just going to remove this volume from here. Okay, so this is what is happening in Apple right now. Apple has a inverse head and shoulder formation, and in the last 4 or 5 days, the price action has been pretty positive, and I was expecting that it would probably reach this neckline, which is about $465. If it does trade above that, then there is a long trade possible, and the long trade possible is towards this 515 and to 520 kind of a range, and that's what I'm expecting. It probably would see that, but until then, until that happens, let's not consider it. And then the next one I'm going to show is the CMG, which also has the inverse head and shoulder pattern. And if you look at it, let's just reset this. Yes, here. This is the inverse head and shoulder pattern, and the 100% of its range is 379.64. If I look at it, that's exactly where it actually reached its 100% of its range, and now it's kind of a reversing, and also the trend is kind of a down, and today it fell almost like a $9. Another one I'm looking at is a coach. This one I wanted to show you from the. Let's see if I can mask some of these. Yes, yeah. So here, what we are seeing is this is a kind of an island gap reversal. There was a gap down here, and then it kind of now it came back and it kind of filled that gap using gap up, and that means it tells me that this is the gap reversal, island gap, and then probably if the price start trading above this level, which is about $60 level, and I would think that this is probably would head up higher. So that's maybe it, but as I said, I do not have a position in coach either. Let's look at Costco. Let me look at my notes here. Yes. I'm going to be turning on here the ABC, and this is the ABC pattern here, and the range of this is between 127 and 162%. That's between 115 and $122. So now it just reached on 28th May. It reached its range of $115, and now it's reversing it in the last few days, and now 109. This doesn't mean automatically that you can go ahead and short this stock, because usually I do like to see these type of stocks, especially the stocks which are in parabolic ranges, to reach this $162 before I consider a position. So, but right now, this is what is happening. It reached about 150, and it's kind of reversing in the last few days. Let's also look at Cisco. And Cisco reached its 162%, which is $24. And this one I traded before. Now I do not have a position, but this is what it is right now. Although it didn't fall too far today, but I'm thinking that probably maybe Cisco also might see some kind of a retracement from here. And then another one I wanted to show you is the EUO, which is a euro ultra short, and there is an ABC bullish pattern forming. That means that this is the euro dollar short, and here is the inverse head and shoulders pattern which is forming it in this. Okay. Great. And let's look at Ford. Ford is interesting because Ford is again, it's not a complete parabolic pattern, but it is now. It was also an ABC pattern, but in addition to that, it also has a what I call is an extensive the extended Gartley pattern, and this is what is the extended Gartley is in Ford. And so here again, the targets, it could go, market could go much higher in the next few months, but at this point I'm thinking that there should be some type of a retracement, and probably Ford also might see some retracement here. Another one which I was considering taking a long position, which I don't have it yet, but it's a FedEx. FedEx has an ABC bullish pattern. I missed it last week because I was thinking that it's market is going to correct it, and because of that I did not take any positions. But now I might, next week I will wait and see if I can take another position into FedEx. Next one is a fossil. And this one I traded in the past, and I don't have a position again. But fossil, again, fossil, if this is it held pretty well today. It only fell 5 cents, and so the target range for this is between 112 and $118. One note about FedEx is FedEx has earnings on June 19th. The other two stocks which I want to show is the General Dynamics. This one I traded in the past. This one also has an X5 pattern, which is like a butterfly kind of a pattern here, because the range is beyond, let's see, it's already crossed about 80% of its the XA range. That's the reason it's become butterfly. But then this pattern, I guess, I'm thinking that it's probably done at this point, and maybe we may see some type of retracement here. If you look at it, it also reaches 127% too. And the another one, which is a similar one, is the GE. And this is GE is it's in the first trading target zone between 23 and $24. Next one, I think we've talked about GLD already. The another one is, this is the one which I traded a long time ago, and I closed it at least a couple of months ago. And since then, I've been wanting to get back into it, and there was a couple of positive momentum into it. But basically this stock also reaches 162%, and this is 28.54. And now if you look at its X5 also, and this is just completed here, and now it's kind of coming down. So now I'm expecting it probably come down to about $24 kind of range, but I don't have a position in IMAX also. Next one is, this is my favorite stock. I have traded this many times. So this is the Intel. Intel is now in an ABC pattern, and today also it held pretty well. The target for this is between 25 and 26 and 26.30. And Intel's earnings are not due until July 16th. This is another one, which is the Nordstrom. I don't have a position in Nordstrom, and I don't know if I've traded recently, but this is the another one of it is because it also reached its 162% of AB. In addition to that, we also have an X5 completion here. Okay, let's look at next one. Next one is a LinkedIn. This is interesting. LinkedIn has yes, LinkedIn is developing interesting head and shoulder pattern. It's not the perfect head and shoulder pattern, but this is what is happening. And also, last week, I think 2 weeks ago, they missed their earnings too. So I'm thinking that this probably would materialize it. Probably there. So that if it does fall through this neckline, the targets would be something like $145 to $150. Next one is Merck. Merck, again, this is also in a spectacular ABC bullish pattern. Merck also has an inverse head and shoulder pattern. In addition to that, I thought I've seen an X5 too. Let me see if I can bring that. Yeah, I think I might have seen it some time ago. Mark had also had an X5 pattern too. Then now let's look at Nike. This is again It has completely extended and it went beyond our target ranges and it went to 262%. And this also has an XY pattern too. And I'm bringing that here. Oops. I think that's what it is. Yes, there. There's an X5 here, a Nike here. This is also completing its X5 too. So now let's look at Oracle. I did have positions in Oracle and I closed it when it just went in up to 62% of its range. And Oracle, I'm still thinking that this is going to probably head higher. Oracle earnings are due June 17th. And another one is the Priceline. I don't have a position in Priceline and I don't remember taking any positions lately, but Priceline also completed a couple of patterns. If you look at it, this is an ABC bullish pattern, but it also has an inverse head and shoulder pattern. If you look at it, and in addition to that, it also has an X5 pattern too. So these are all its completed Priceline. I still think that Priceline probably should see even much more higher prices. Um, I think the target would be probably about between 881 to $925. And the last one I wanted to show you is a Silicon Lab. And again, I closed this position, but this is doing pretty well. I will be considering if the market shows any kind of a positive strength. And here is the Silicon Lab. And here the targets would be between $45 and $47. That would be it, guys. And please do join me in Big Mike's, I guess, 4th-year anniversary seminar, which is on Thursday, June 6th at 4:30. Go to my website or go to BMT and just register for the seminar. Thanks a lot and have a great weekend.